Hello students, today we are going to continue with our chapter, The Making of a Scientist. Here we had already seen how Richard Ebright had a hobby of collecting butterflies and studying them, and his mother also proved very instrumental in helping him out, providing with all the things which kept indulging him, provided him with microscope, telescope, and all the other required mounting materials, etc. And how he collected all the 25 kinds of butterflies which were found around his place, that is Reading, Pennsylvania. Later, how he read a book and then he started tagging the butterflies, and once he tagged the butterflies he started breeding them in his basement, and then he used to tag them, and he used to ask them to send again this to Dr. Frederick. But as this was not working on very well, he was a little disheartened with this. Further, we will carry on how he kept on studying and what he kept on doing during his life. Then in the 7th grade, he got a hint of what real science is. Now he has reached 7th grade, and now suddenly he came to know what real science is. Science is not studying your books, etc., but something more than that. Is when he entered a county science fair and lost. So he entered the fair, he participated in this science exhibition, but he lost badly. It was really a sad feeling to sit there and not get anything while everybody else had won something. So he has felt loss for the first time, and it was disheartening. Ebright said his entry was slides of frog tissues. So you can understand that frog tissues were made, a very thin slide was taken and mounted, which he showed under a microscope. So this was his entry, and he was badly disappointed because no one acclaimed him by giving a position. He realized the winners had tried to do real experiments. It was not simply doing something and showing, but it was real experiments which they were doing. Only then they were recognized. Not simply make a neat display. Not just a neat, beautiful slide would win you a prize. Already, the competitive spirit that drives Richard Ebright was appearing. So gradually this competitive spirit appeared in Richard Ebright, and I knew that for the next year's fair, I would have to do a real experiment. This year's failure made him realize that he has to learn something. And what he learned, he would also do a real experiment. He would also do some research, which would be a real one. The subject I knew most about was the insect work I had been doing in the past several years. Now, if you want to do something, or you want to research on something, obviously you would start with something you are well aware about. And obviously it was butterflies, which is an insect. So he wrote to Dr. Urquhart for ideas that what should he do? Exactly what should he start with? He wants to participate in this science fair, and what should he do? And back came a stack of suggestions for experiments. So many experiments were sent to him, and now he has to choose the subject of his liking. Those kept Ebright busy all through high school and led to prize projects in county and international science fairs. Now, these were all the suggestions that he gave. He started working on them, And in this way, he became busy during his high school, and he also won prizes for his projects, and he was busy in these county fairs and even international science fairs. For his 8th grade project, again he is in the next grade, 8th, Albright tried to find the cause of a viral disease. So, he has actually started researching and doing some original work. So, earlier also he did on the insects, and here also this is something original, that what is the cause of a viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars, because he is most experienced in terms of monarch butterflies. Monarch butterflies actually are large migratory orange and black colored butterfly that occurs mainly in North America. So because he was well aware about them, he continued studying them and issues related with them. So monarch caterpillars for every few years. So he started studying about the cause of viral disease, which kill the caterpillars. Albright thought the disease might be carried by a beetle. Beetle is again an insect. If you have seen a black insect, that is a beetle. So he thought that earlier that it would be just because of beetle, which is an insect, which would cause this disease. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. Now if you want to specify this, find out this, you will raise the butterflies in the presence of beetles, and you will see whether they really impact or not. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence. I didn't get any real results. But still, he did not get any such results which could tell that beetles have been a cause of the death of caterpillars. Okay, but I went ahead and showed that I had tried the experiment. This time I won. And because even something instrumental didn't come out, but the thing is that beetles have not been the reason behind the killing of monarch caterpillars. So because he did something original, this time he won a prize. The next year, his science fair project was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. Now, viceroy is another kind of butterfly, and monarchs is another kind of butterfly. These are two different species. And what is it? Viceroy look like monarchs, and viceroy copy monarch, because monarch don't taste good to birds. Monarch butterflies are a good prey for the birds. They like them very much. They like eating them, and that is why what to adapt to and to protect themselves, viceroy started copying monarch. Viceroys, on the other hand, do taste good to birds. So the more they look like monarchs, the less likely they are to become a bird's dinner. So to safeguard themselves, they try to copy. Can you imagine? Even butterflies are so intelligent. You can see here, these are the two different breeds. Top is how is the monarch butterfly, and then at the bottom you can find the viceroy butterfly. And even you can see that there is quite difference in their appearance. These are two different species. Albright's project was to see whether, in fact, birds would eat monarchs. So they tried to copy, and now let us see whether their birds actually eat monarchs or not. He found that a starling would not eat ordinary bird food. He found that a starling would not eat ordinary bird food. It would eat all the monarchs it could get. So starling would only eat monarchs, all the monarchs it could get. Ebright said later, research by other people showed that viceroys probably do copy the monarch. And the viceroys, later he came to know, even with the help of other people's research also, that these viceroy butterflies are copying the monarchs. This project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the county science fair. Now this was also considered to be one of the original experiment of Richard Ebright, and again he won here. And what he won here, it is was first in the zoology division and third overall. Okay, so it is something. Snarling is actually a gregarious old world songbird with a straight bill, typically with dark and shiny or bright plumage. You can see the plumage, the feather kind of part, but sometimes brightly colored. So this is a kind of old song bird. So snarling would not eat the ordinary bird food. It would only eat the monarchs. And later, through research and also by the other people, showed that viceroys probably do copy the monarch. That means they actually copy. So this was an original experiment and he won the prize also in this, first and third overall. In this way, his original way of doing discoveries is taking him towards the success. In his second year in high school, Richard Ebright began the research that led to his discovery of an unknown insect hormone. Can you imagine, this time he has actually discovered an insect hormone. So this is a discovery he has actually done. So in the second year in high school, he started researching and he came up with an unknown insect hormone. Indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the life of cells. And this unknown insect hormone is helping him out to know that unknown insect hormones can make you understand the theory of the life of cells. What and how is it? Let us see. The question he tried to answer was simple. What is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? So what is it? You know that the butterflies have different stages of development. Pupa is one of the stage. Now, what are the 12 tiny gold spots? What is the purpose of these spots on the pupa? Everyone assumed the spots were just ornamental. It is just for beauty or decoration.